Hello team, welcome to my channel. My name is Janet. Today is a 20-minute all standing workout focusing on building up strong, lean legs. So no other equipment is required but except a chair to hold onto for support. And this workout will also help not only with stronger legs but with your mobility and balance. Now, if you enjoy these types of workout, it's focusing on certain body areas or workouts that improve not only your strength, but also maybe your mobility or balance, please let me know by leaving some comments below, liking this video and subscribing to my channel. Now let's find some space, grab a chair and let's get started.
Alright guys, let's grab that chair or find a surface spot onto the right hand side of your body, standing next door to it. We're just going to start with a step wide and then maybe using your left arm to help you in that direction that you're going, opening and closing. Right hand staying on the chair just for a little bit of balance. So step out nice and wide, take that foot a little bit wider than your shoulder. And make sure when you squat down, both knees are even, slightly turned out over the toes. Of course, if the arms throw you off today, just prop the hand on the left, stay straight onto the hip there, and just focusing on the legs. So nice and quick at the movement as you're just warming up through your legs and body for now. Great. Alright, keeping your legs nice and wide, wider than your shoulders for the next move. This moves into a little bit of balancing work. We're going to squat down and then lift that left foot up, tap the toes towards the inside of that right knee. Just a light touch. Don't hit it too hard because you want to not damage your knee joint, of course. And then again with the arms, as you tap, the arm sweeps up above the head, very ballerina like. Feel free to not use the arms whatsoever, but I do find working out the arms, moving them at the same time as the legs, does help raise your heart rate a little bit more efficiently. Might as well maximize your calorie burn here by using arms and legs if you're feeling a bit coordinated today. Good. Alright. We're going to take your feet about hip width apart now. And we're going into a curtsy with that left leg. So that left leg sweeps behind the right and then you're going to kick it out to the side. And then the arm sweeps with that leg. So depending on how your hips are feeling today or how flexible your hips are, you may be able to get that leg nice and high to hip level or a little bit higher. But if you find that your foot only sort of comes a little bit off the ground, that is also fine as long as you keep moving out the bodies. So step down, bending the knees on the right over the right toes. Left leg behind you obviously drops down towards the mat. And then you sweep. And then I'm using my chair just to help my balance because you are swinging quite fast. Good. Moving into that next move now, we're going to go into a bit more balancing work and core. So left arm sweeps up above the ear, left leg steps out, and you're going to crunch into the center. Arm comes in, leg comes in. Standing leg on the right, slightly bent in the knees because you want to keep your joints nice and comfortable. As always in all my videos, there is always a little bit of bend through the knees. Don't want to over hyperextend it. And then try to bring that knee in upwards rather than the arm downwards towards the knee. You want to find that length. Works on your waistline here, as well as working on your balancing and stabilizers through the legs. Stabilizers are important to work out. They basically stop you from falling over and helps you improve your balance over time. Good. Alright, so let's keep your right leg stationary because we're going to burn through the glutes, and then your left leg is the one that's going to keep moving. Side, back, side, back. So just lightly with the tippy toes, you're tapping to the side of the body, and then slowly about a meter behind you, it's like you're dipping your toes into water. Notice my right knee is now bent a lot more, and I'm leaning my arms onto the chair. You can obviously lean it onto a bench if you're not using a chair there. But don't lean too heavy on that chair. It's just there to sort of support a little bit, but it's not meant to hold the majority of the weight. You are still pulling your belly button right in there to the spine, and keep your stomach flat. And you still get a good core workout even though you're standing up. Nice. Alright, if you need to shake out that right leg, which is what I'm doing here, I'm just standing up straight a little bit because my right leg starts to burn. Alright, I'm going to do a rainbow with my leg. It swings to the left and I lift it up and swing to the right. But I'm keeping the rest of my body relatively still as that leg taps on either side of my mat. If you're not using a mat, of course, you're just sort of using about a meter as a guide, going side to side. Each time my leg reaches over to the right, I go a little bit deeper into my right knee, right thigh. Hopefully you are starting to feel it in your right leg. The leg that is not moving works quite hard here to keep your body balanced and still. Toning up your butt, toning up your thighs and legs. Good. Alright, I do need to shake out my right leg a little bit here. We're going into donkey kicks. Right leg is still bent, left leg is still moving. Toes flexed into the shin, and it's like you've got something behind you coming towards you, and you are using your heel to strike it away. As you strike that leg upwards, think about squeezing your left glute. If you want to check if your glute is on, I generally pop my hand around my glute, maybe a finger or so, and just check that it's firm. If it is, then it's on. If it feels a little bit relaxed, you might need to just focus in on that area. So think about that muscle around the glutes and just thinking about making it firmer against the hand. And generally it does start to firm up and switch on. You're just training that body to know how to squeeze the glutes. Eventually it will naturally just switch on itself. Good. Alright, my right leg is going to have a little quick stretch here. Alright, I'm going to pulse through the leg, donkey kick it up in the air. It stays up in the air. I'm going to try to lift it past my hip line, and I'm just keeping the push upwards. So my leg doesn't really straighten anymore. The bend stays the same. It is from my glute that I'm pushing, not through my hamstrings, because my leg is sort of frozen in time in that one position. And I'm pressing. I'm checking on my leg to see that it's doing the right thing. Press upwards. It's definitely getting uncomfortable now in my standing leg and also my glute on the left side, especially. Really simple exercises to do. You can do it anywhere as long as you have something to balance onto, and you just work out your legs and you don't have to ever get onto the ground. Alright, good job. Let's take that chair to the other side. We're going to repeat onto the left hand side. So left leg is going to stay. Right arm, right leg steps out wide, arm switching. This is a good release for building up that sort of lactic acid on the right side. So once you start moving the right side, it will start to loosen out through. And then you're just going to burn out the left leg so that's nice and even. Step wide. Remember that foot is going slightly wider than your shoulder width. And your knees turn out over the toes. A lot of times I see feet pointing one way, people try to move your knees the other way, and that's where injuries tend to happen if you don't follow the knees to toes. Nice. All right, keep the wide stance. Remember, we're squatting down and lifting your right foot lightly with the toes, tapping towards the left knee, arms sweeping up into the air. Drop and lift, drop and lift. Arm goes above the head if you can. Now, if you can't lift that foot too high off the ground and it just needs to tap a little bit lower, maybe towards the ankles or even the calves, just go with that. It is not a big deal if your foot doesn't come all the way to the inside of that knee. And try to turn the toes out to the center. But of course, if your hips are tight, it may not give that much of a turn out, which is quite normal. So don't stress about that. As you work on your flexibility, things will get a lot more better and easier to do. All right, so we're going to take that feet a little bit narrower because we're going into that curtsy. Right leg is going to step into a curtsy behind the left leg, and then you're going to swing out to the side, to the right side, arm sweeping with the leg. Whatever your leg does, your arm sort of tends to follow. You're going to use it as a bit of momentum to help lift. So drop and kick to the side. Right, those of you with like sort of knees difficulties, you may not go as low in your curtsies. That is totally fine. Just as long as you're moving your body, you can step that foot just behind you like a cross, create an X, and then kick out to the side. But sometimes check your alignment. Like I said, knee over toes, squeezing through the quad muscle, which is those big muscles at the top of the thighs, help straighten your legs. All right, let's come into a bit of balancing. Leaning into your left side slight bend, right arm up, right leg out, and crunch to the sides of the body. Leg is staying off the ground if you can. Got that chair to help you balance, keeping that leg up in the air. Bring that knee up towards the hip. So see how my knees are turned a little bit outwards. Again, like I said, if your hips are quite stiff, sometimes that knee can only come forward as opposed to rotating out to the side. But try over time to give those hips a bit more stretch. There's plenty of stretch classes, including some of mine. I've got some yoga stretch classes that you can do to help you open up through those hips. Good. Alrighty. Let's turn to the chair. Leaning forearms on, bend the knees. Right leg is the mover. Steps out to the side, steps behind you. Light tap with the toes. Left knee. Now drop that left knee nice and low. Your knees should stay in line with your toes on the left. If you find that your knee is going more forward in front of the toes, just pull your body back a little bit. It likes to be almost in line with where your toes are or behind it. Obviously, you do not have to go as fast as I am. You can go a little bit slower. It's like I'm trying to thunder through because the discomfort in the standing leg is burning. So I am trying to end it, but that's not how time works, guys. Could have a little bit of shake. Just because you go faster doesn't mean the time goes any faster than that. All right, we're going into rainbows. Right leg is pointed, if possible. If you are prone to getting cramps in the calf, maybe a pointed toe is not for you. Feel free to flex those toes in towards the shins and keep that engagement on the legs. Rather than just having your foot dangles not doing anything, either point, which is the preferred option, just to elongate out all the way down to the tippy toes. But like I said, if you get cramps, flex the toes. It has the same effect throughout the rest of the muscles, through the glutes and hamstrings. So these sort of movements help lengthen the muscles as well as build them up, rather than doing like heavy squats with weights. These are great to do to get lean legs. Good. Give it a little bit of shake. That's what I'm just doing, moving out that lactic acid. All right, we're giving that donkey kick back. Toes flexed in now to the shins. So see how my toes are now no longer pointed. This is what a flexed toes looks like. And your heel will be the furthest point away as you're traveling it behind you. Try to keep the rest of the body still, not wiggling the hips. They stay equally square to the way that you are facing. I hope you're enjoying these leg series. Let me know how you go, if you get the burn feel at the end, or maybe even the next day. I find is when the soreness comes through. Let me know if you feel it. Hopefully you enjoy it though. And get a little bit of shake. I just need to loosen up that leg that I'm standing on because it's starting to burn a lot. I can tell in my face. Alright, let's start to pulse it up. That leg lifts and you're just pulsing, pressing away to the roof. That knee doesn't move too much, right? It's just moving a few centimeters up, few centimeters down. The isolation of the pulse just builds up that muscles. And also, the more muscles you burn, the more calories you get to burn. And you've got lots of muscles in your legs to help you use up those extra calories, maybe. Very close to the end, team. After this, we've just got a few more exercises and then a quick stretch, and then you are done. Press, press, press. Good job. All right, let's move that chair just to the front of us. This is going to work your big quads. Up on your tippy toes if you can, heels together, and you're going to plie down, which means the knees open out to the side, your bum is tucked in. It's like you're sliding your body against a wall. You're trying to keep your body flat to it, and you don't want to stick your bum out too much. If you find it uncomfortable completely to be on your tippy toes and have your heels lifted, you can do the same movement with your heels and feet flat on the mat. No need to be on your toes. Being on your tippy toes works the calves, of course, and it works a bit more into your stabilizers because you've got less muscles in the feet to help you ground yourself. That's all it is. So straight down, straight up, you are bending and dropping your bum low. Again, if you've got knee issues, you do not go as low. Give it a little bit of shake. Alright, we're going to go into a squat and add a clap on the next one. So drop down, clap the knees, come back up and release. So as I come back up, I'm trying to zip up my thighs together because it works your inner thighs. Those muscles on the inside of your thighs don't get much of a workout. They're sort of used last generally, unless you're doing very specific exercises. But we tend to use the front of the legs, the back of the legs, and the sides on the outside, but the inner thighs generally I find is people's weakest points, which is why sometimes people's hips feel really uncomfortable because they're using the hip flexors as opposed to their inner thighs. Alright, just one more exercise after this. Your legs should be burning up now. Alright, have a moment for your last 50 seconds. Shake out the legs. We are just pulsing those plies. So up on your tippy toes, heels together, stay down. Just like you're peekabooing behind the chair or your surface area. Stay with your body nice and low. Knees bent and pushed out to the side. The lower you go, the more range and more muscles you're working. Bear with it, 30 seconds. If it's starting to heat up through the muscles, oh, here I go. I'm saying if you can, a little bit lower, consider going lower if you can for your last little bit. Ooh, it's getting uncomfortable. Definitely burning it through. You've got this though, because it's only 10 seconds to go. And then a well-deserved stretch. Okay, guys, good job. Just lean away, stretch out the back of the legs a little bit. All right, I'm just turning my chair to the right. I'm going to cross my left foot over my thigh and then push my bum back. This opens up your glutes and hips. Then take that same leg onto the chair or even onto the floor and keep that leg nice and straight. This is for your hamstrings. Once you've compacted the muscles with your muscle work, you want to stretch it out to lengthen them. Pull the foot in towards your bum. That stretches out the front of the thighs. Why do you need to stretch? Well, it keeps your body limber. All right, push the hips back. And it also pulls out the compactness of it. You want to lengthen the muscles once you've strengthened them so they don't get that stumpy look through the legs. You know, that stocky sort of muscle, which some people are looking for. But if you're not, make sure you stretch. But also stretching reduces injuries over time. Quad stretch here on the other side. Good, roll it down, reaching towards the ground, keeping your leg nice and straight. And then slowly roll up. Perfect, good job guys. Hope you enjoyed it. Let me know in the comments and I'll see you on the next one. Bye.